giving my predictions for TNA Under Siege 2025. It's going to happen this Friday, May the 23rd. Now, this is the first Under Siege pay-per-view I've seen. I've seen the Steven Seagal film, I think. Anyway, I'm recording this before the most recent episode, or the newest, or whatever it's called, on Thursday. So if anything changes from now to Thursday that I don't know about, it's okay. So I've written them down here. I'm going to talk about each match, what I know about it, and obviously what I think is going to happen. So I don't know the order, but let's just crack straight on with it. Steve Macklin versus Matt Cardona for the International Championship. Okay, Steve Macklin is the only international champion as far as I'm aware. Matt Cardona won a fatal four-way, I believe it was, or a four-way, whatever we call it these days. Okay, he's only had a feud with Eric Young. I'm on about Steve Macklin here. So to me, I've not seen these two have a match. I think it's going to be a great match, but I don't see Steve Macklin losing it this soon. So I don't even know if Matt Cardona even is an actual part of TNA or if he's just a part of everything besides WWE. I'm not sure, but plain simple, I'm going to go for Steve Macklin just because he's new to it. If he loses, it'll be because of Eric Young, which is stupid, but I don't see that happening, so I'm going to go for Steve Macklin. Then we have another tag team match between Ash and Heather by Elegance against Spitfire, who are Jody Threat and Danny Luna. I'm sure these guys are the only tag teams, so if Spitfire wins again, they'll probably drop it again to Ash and Heather by Elegance. But I'm going to go for Ash and Heather by Elegance and hoping some more teams end up turning up. If there's another tag team, I genuinely can't think of it. So just for that reason, I'm going to go for Ash and Heather. Then we have Mike Santana versus AJ Francis with KC Navarro. I have no idea where this match came from. I think he interrupted the First Class Penthouse or something, and now they're feuding because Mustafa Ali's doing something else. But either way, I'm going to go for Mike Santana. He just seems like the right person to win. Yeah, I don't know. AJ Francis just seems like some big geezer who could be like a straight up powerhouse and they're just not using him. The only thing I actually remember about him is he's banned from diving. Yeah. So I could give you more like in-depth answers to all these, but what else is there to even really say? It's Mike Santana's going to win. If he doesn't, I was wrong. Then we have Tessa Blanchard with Robert Stone versus Ariana Grace with Santino Marella. She's Miss NXT, apparently. Unless it means she misses NXT, I'm not sure. Or tells us to miss NXT. I think it's Santino Marella's daughter. So that'd be interesting to obviously see her compete. I've never seen her compete before. But with how Tessa Blanchard is portrayed, I see obviously Ariana Grace maybe getting like a one or two good moves in. Nothing fantastic. So, oh my God, she might win. But then Tessa wins. I mean, then obviously Robert Stone, who's not in authority, but he has power somehow. I don't understand it because I don't think he even works for TNA, but technically he does, but he doesn't on screen. And Santino Marella's actually got the power, but he actually doesn't because it's just an on-screen character. It's very confusing, I know. I'm confused. But either way, it's going to probably be a terrible match, but I'm going to give it to Tessa Blanchard. Then we've got the tag team title match, the TNA tag team titles, obviously. The Nemeth brothers, who obviously Nick and Ryan Nemeth, versus Matt Hardy and Leon Slater, because Jeff Hardy is not allowed in the country, he's banned. But so why have this match here then? It makes no sense. If you have Matt and Leon win, why? Yeah. Does he give the title to Jeff Hardy? Does it cause a feud? Does he like, oh, this is great? Are they just doing it so they can win it? But either way, because they've not held the titles for that long, I'm going to give it to the Nemeth brothers. But with it being TNA, it really wouldn't surprise me. So if I was allowed to have one where I can obviously be based on points and then this one's a fallback one, I'd probably say this one. But I'm still going to go with the Nemeth brothers just because they haven't held the titles for that long, and Matt Hardy and Leon Slater aren't exactly a team. I know obviously Leon wants to be like part of the Hardys. Obviously he was in that steel cage match with the 10 people. He does the Swanton 450, so you know, all this other good stuff. I'm going to go for the Nemeth brothers. Another singles match. Eddie Edwards versus Cody Deaner. Now Cody hasn't had a singles win in over a year. So Santino says to him, if you can defeat a former TNA World Champion, which I believe Eddie Edwards is, I might be wrong on that, it'll basically help him to expand his TNA contract and win a new one. So if that's the case, if this genuinely is his last go, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to win. If Cody doesn't win, okay, I can see him going to NXT. But I think he's going to win this, going to get a TNA contract, and he's going to keep wrestling and get even more wins under his belt. Then we have the TNA Knockouts Championship. Masha Slamovich defending against Victoria Crawford, who I believe was Alicia Fox, or is that a completely different person? Not too sure. I was definitely going to say Masha Slamovich, but I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's just throw a curveball in there. I'm going to go for Victoria Crawford. Probably a really stupid guess, but if I'm right, who's stupid? Probably still me, but yeah. I've seen her have one match, she looked dominating, but then you've got Masha Slamovich, who looks dominating. She had the title for a little bit now, not ages, but long enough to be able to go, okay, let's drop it to whoever this person is, wherever she's come from. Why not? It'd be stupid because it's the second match. More than likely, it will just be obviously a competitive match. Masha Slamovich overcomes the odds. But I'm going to go for Victoria Crawford, just to be different. Then we go on to what I assume will be the main event. A tag team match between the TNA World Champion Joe Hendry, he didn't appear, and Elijah versus Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian. Basically, Trick and Joe Hendry are going to be having a match, obviously like about 2 nights later, and obviously Trick's got no friends, so he's got Frankie, who doesn't like Joe, then Joe's got a friend in Elijah, who everyone thinks he's going to turn on him, but he hasn't yet. It's very confusing. But because I don't see Joe Hendry losing the TNA World title at a WWE pay-per-view, I'm going to give the win to Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian here. Now, if Joe and Elijah win, it wouldn't surprise me that if Trick wins at, is it Battleground, I believe it is. But either way, those there are the 8 matches. So let's have a quick run through. Okay, so you got Steve Macklin will retain his International Championship. Ash and Heather by Elegance will retain their TNA Knockout Championships. Mike Santana will retain himself because it's nothing on the line. Tessa Blanchard will defeat Ariana Grace. Just in case you didn't know, obviously I mentioned it earlier, but it was Mike Santana who was going to defeat AJ Francis. The Nemeth brothers will defeat Matt Hardy and Leon Slater. Cody Deaner will defeat Eddie Edwards. Victoria Crawford will become your new TNA Knockouts champion, defeating Masha Slamovich. And Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian will defeat Joe Hendry and Elijah. So that's pretty much it. It happened this Friday. Let me know what you think is going to happen. If you think I'm wrong or what could happen, if you think any like returns or surprises or anything like that, then let me know. If I've missed anything, fantastic. But nice, short, sweet video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.